Greetings, Erin Lee Bonfire, Dark Moon Black Sun here, and welcome to my channel, Transcendent, Transmutation. This is going to be an energy resonance reading for the upcoming full moon in Pisces that we have September 1st and 2nd. This full moon will be September 1st on the west coast of the United States, North America, and it's going to be on the 2nd in all other locations around the globe. So in this reading, I'm going to be talking about some of the astrological influences that we're going to be encountering. Then I'm going to go into an elemental spread to see the basics of how each element will be affected with the energy of this full moon cycle going into the next new moon, which is on September 17th. One thing to keep in mind with a full moon is that a full moon represents a time to bring forth what was started at the beginning of the new moon. So go ahead and think back to what you were doing around the time of August 18th when we had the new moon in Leo. This is the energy that you're going to be building off of. And the whole conceptuality of a full moon is emotion, fertilization, accumulation, romance, and also relationships. Now, we do have this full moon in Pisces. So whenever we have a full moon in Pisces, we can expect this to be a great time of sensitivity and perceptiveness to our surroundings. The shadow side of this is to keep in mind that you might be experiencing some feelings of insecurity, but don't be passive about waiting around to see what's going to be unfolding in your life. Right now is a time to take the active role. So definitely be proactive in spiritual and creative pursuits so that you can tune in to this beautiful energy of the great imagination that Pisces has to offer. With this full moon, we're going to be finding that it's easier to accept change, move forth, and also have progress in the present. Most importantly is balancing our inner spiritual needs with the basic mundane activities of our everyday life. So this is balancing what is the infiniteness that we have within us, and then balancing the external of the mundane. So our routines, our physical health, and so forth. We're going to have the opportunity for a lot of new events, personal freedoms, and also stimulating new phases are going to be moving into our lives that are going to offer a lot of change. So we're going to be having a lot of flashes of instant intuition and guidance. So it's really important that we tune into those intuitive Piscean waters so that we can be open to receive guidance from the divine. And the other cool thing about this full moon is it's also going to put us in a state of comfort where we're going to feel a lot more comfortable expressing our genuine selves, expressing our unique selves. Now, if you can kind of remember some of the things I talked about back with the new moon in Leo, August 18th, it was about discovering your authentic self, bringing forth that true authentic self. So now, with this full moon in Pisces, we're going to be bringing in that energy, and we're going to feel really comfortable expressing our unique sides of ourselves, which is really going to bring about a lot of good energy. There is, however, going to be some conflicting energy. So that is going to be between our infinite selves and our daily to-do lists. So this moon is going to ask us to reach in and refine our personal tools so that we can bring each together in equality. Because neglecting one or the other is going to lead to either ridiculous excessive order or ridiculous and excessive chaos. So we have to start to learn to toggle between these two worlds, and knowing that bringing about this balance here is what's going to be most important. We also have a fixed lucky star that's going to come into play. This can bring new friends into our lives, and it can also take away any stresses or stagnations that we might have been feeling brewing during this time from the new moon until now. So be prepared to begin to release some of these restrictions and frustrations as long as you are tuning into refining what is within and what is without. The one important thing to also keep in mind is that the opposing forces that are acting here are going to be between what you want and what you need, and then between work versus play. So there's also going to be a lot of situations surrounding close relationships with home and with family, situations that can occur that might be trying to drain your energy. So be sure to avoid any conflict in this department. So avoid conflict with relationships, home, and family right now, and use your tool of balancing your external with your internal, and especially tune into that Pisces intuition. That is the key that's going to keep things from causing any sort of disharmony. So it's going to serve you a lot better to, instead of engaging in conflicts, use these lunar energies, because you're going to have access. Instinct and emotion is going to be peaking. So instead of engaging in these sorts of conflicts, use this to overcome obstacles that you might encounter in your relationships. And remember that your subconscious awareness is really what's going to allow you to have a balanced look at all the dynamics of your relationship. Once, of course, also you have everything on the external plane in a good, refined working order. And also be sure to look out for anger, frustration, disappointments as far as money and relations go. Some of us might have been brewing a lot of these frustrations since the new moon that we had. And honestly, if you allow these energies to trigger your patience, you're going to lose control of a lot of situations. But by refining your day-to-day routine and strengthening your intuition, trusting your instincts, you're going to be able to find plenty of opportunities to make a positive change in the world around you, and also neutralize any sort of negative situations. And also, this is going to bring fate and luck together. That can be on your side right now, so that you're going to finally be able to let go of any stubborn tendencies or any grudges. So you're going to open yourself to long-lasting happiness, good fortune, and also a safe journey in doing so. So let's go ahead and see what this full moon in Pisces has in store. And for those of you just joining, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, thank you so much for the couple subscribers that I have gotten the past few weeks. I really appreciate the support. Now, do keep in mind, that this is a general reading. So if you want to get a deeper perspective, please look into your personal zodiac sign, and also you might want to look up your rising sign, your moon, and your Venus. Okay, let's see what is the energy resonance for this full moon in Pisces. Okay, so what it looks like we have here is at the center of everything. This is the spirit of the energy right now, which is the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So this is an earth element. So right now this looks like bringing everything down into manifestation, into the physical realm, and moving ahead with it, which this totally goes with our theme here that we have, balancing the mundane and your work, your routines. So that's great. This is a good sign. This is a good sign, good start for this reading. Now, in the house of the north, which is the element of earth, we have a fire card, 3 of Wands. What this is telling me is that in order to bring about grounding and balance out the earth element right now, it's really important to take action. So it's important to take action in the things that you need to take action into. So if there's any type of routine that you might need to get yourself into to bring about stability into your life, That's what needs to go down. Now remember, the astrological influences are about routines and bringing them into balance. So this is really a call to action to bring out all of these different types of routines or different things that you need to get done. Bring action to it. Bring attention to your routines. Bring attention to whatever it is that you need to do in order to balance out your earthly plane right now. All right, now in the house of the West, which is water, we have the Devil, which is a major arcana card here. So what we need to be looking out right now is the Devil and our emotions. And now remember, I said that the shadow side of this full moon is going to be a lot of anger, frustration, disappointments. Energy and emotions are going to be at an all-time high. And if you allow yourself to get too trapped in your head with your emotions, you can definitely expect that a lot of negative habits or negative feelings are going to emerge. So please, everyone, keep your negative habits in check. Remember that you can control them. Do not allow them to control you. Now, in the house of the South, which is fire, we have another fire card, Two of Wands. So what this tells me is that as far as your own inner fire, as far as your own inner will, now is a time to continue to ponder that. Continue to take assessment. Continue to think about what are the things that you need to do, because it's really interesting. We have the Two of Wands here below in the house of the South, and then up here we have the Three of Wands, which we mentioned first of all in the reading, in the house of the North. So this is really telling me that your inner will, your inner fire, and your pragmatic earth are going to be working together. So this is spot on with the astrology here. So this is remembering your inner will, remembering your inner fire, bringing that inner will forward into action in a very, very physical way, okay? Next, we have the house of the East, which is the element of air. And air represents our mind, our mentality, our intellectual side, and also our mental state. And we have the sun, so this is really positive. So what this tells me is, in order to balance out our mindsets and what we need to be focused on, is have a positive attitude about this. You don't have to allow yourself to fall into what we have over here. On the contrary, over in the West, you don't need to let yourself fall into the attachments of the Devil here, because right across from it, opposing it, is the sun. So go about this, the wind, the wind actually blew my iPad there. Very interesting there. Thank you, Spirit of the Wind. What we have going on here is your mind is able to really open up here and provide for a positive outlook if you let it be a positive outlook. So don't get wrapped up in all of this. Also, Mars is going retrograde too shortly after. I should mention this. Shortly after the full moon, Mars goes retrograde September 9th through November 13th. So this can really, really play on our frustrations and our emotions. But look, with this full moon, this is the energy we have to access for our mentality. So tune into this beautiful, vibrant energy of the sun. And don't let yourself get attached to the attachments and negative energies that are held here in the Devil. Now, this is what Spirit wants you to know is holding this all together. And this is the Chariot. Now, for some of you, maybe you're moving to a new place. You're moving from one location to another, or you might be moving from one job to another. But in a transcendental way, what the Chariot represents is moving forward with your will from one place to the next. So with this energy, everything that we've talked about today, keep in mind that the energy of this really is about balancing the earthly plane and the inner plane, the spiritual plane, bringing those all together letting go of these negative attachments, thinking about what you want to do, taking action, having a positive outlook, and knowing that you are going to be moving ahead here in the physical realm, and that confirmation with that is the Chariot. Well, I hope you enjoyed this full moon and Pisces reading, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.